And welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Brant Fowler, and this is Only Good Comics, and I'm ready to talk to you about Only Good Comics. This time, we are talking about Miles Morales, issue number 1 from December of 2022. This is written by Cody Ziglar with art by Federico Vicentini. I'm going to butcher that, but I apologize for that. But I'm not sure who did the colors, but they are gorgeous. I should have looked that up, but it will be all in the description below. The full list, the credits. This is, of course, from Marvel. This is the latest run of Miles Morales, and this is the issue that kicked off this new era, this new status quo for Miles that has led us to the current stuff going on with Ultimate Invasion and everything. So, this issue, I was anticipating and kind of hesitant about it at the same time because the last few Miles series that I've read have been okay, but they haven't been groundbreaking. They haven't been great. They haven't lived up to the hype of the Miles Morales character that we've seen from the Ultimate universe and in across the Spider-Verse and stuff like that. Those versions of Miles that are more in tune with who the character is, and I don't feel like the storylines have really serviced Miles in the best way possible, but they weren't bad. They were just okay, but this one, I was kind of excited for a new team on it and to see what they could do with it, what they could do different. And there are a lot of similarities. It's still Miles dealing with school and family and superheroing and trying to find his place in all of it. That's a classic Spider-Man trope that kind of has to be present if you're a Spider character, right? So that's all fine, but it's the way that you handle that makes it interesting. And in this volume of the series, which, by the way, the first 5 issues of this are collected in a volume 1, which is available now. You can find that wherever you get your comics from. But in this first issue, it kicks off this new status quo for Miles and starts to establish his own kind of rogues gallery. It starts building more villains that are just Miles's, or villains that Peter doesn't really deal with as much anymore, like Scorpion. Scorpion features heavily in this issue and in this arc, and really in the whole series, because he becomes part of this Cape Killers organization. We see the beginnings of that thread in this issue as well. But this was kind of restarting Miles, kind of refamiliarizing you with Miles and where he is with his journey post those previous couple of arcs. He's still journaling, as you can see up here. He's kind of dictating his thoughts every day, and we are introduced immediately to this character who suffers some personal loss and disappointments, and kind of attributes them to Miles, and becomes what the villain that we eventually know as Rabble, who kind of really destroys Miles Morales' life for a little while. But we also get some really cool knockdown, drag-out fights like this with Scorpion throughout this issue. And there's a beautiful spread of the credits page, and you can see the full credits. Colors by Bryan, Valenza, and letters by VC's Cory Petit, by the way. There's some really cool art there as we see Miles continuing to fight Scorpion. Gorgeous double page spread right there. It's just the art in this volume kicked it up a notch for Miles. The pacing was really solid. You start off with, like I said, with this journaling, and then you're introduced to this new character as they're getting put through the paces and experiencing life as it is in Brooklyn and in the superhero world and everything that's going on. And as Miles is fighting Scorpion, we are introduced to, I can't remember her name, but she's head of that division that put together the Cape Killers, that is policing all the underage superheroes. This is also the volume that introduced Misty Knight as Miles's mentor, and that relationship kind of took off. Another gorgeous splash there. And we also saw Miles still dealing with trouble at school, where he's not being able to keep up. He's also ghosting Tiana and Ganke, and he's getting suspended at school because he can't keep up with the work. But we were seeing him fight villains like Bumblebee. And again, like I said, we're introduced to Rabble. By the end of this issue, we kind of see that plot starting to form as she targets Miles, and she knows Miles' secret identity and all of that. So it's a fantastic restart for Miles. It's a fantastic introduction to Miles's world, and it's a great way to kick off this arc and kind of show all the things that Miles is dealing with. Show his trouble with school, like I said. Show his new rogues gallery and all these villains that are now coming at him. Show that he's dealing with this whole new law and legislation that is prohibiting him from technically being able to superhero without a sponsor and an of age sponsor and all of that. And in the meantime, dealing with the same crap that he had to deal with before, right? So he's still finding his way and all that stuff. But this was a great issue. It got me excited about a Miles comic again, and it hasn't really let up for me. I mean, it's been consistent, I think, throughout. There have been, little bits here and there where it slowed down for an issue, but overall, I think that this has been the best run of Miles in a very long time. Best run pretty much since he came to the 616. And of course, again, it's led to the Ultimate Invasion and whatever's going to happen with the Ultimate Universe going forward and Miles' connection to that. So this is the basis of that. This starts all of those threads and kind of leads us to that point. But it also, leads him to other places where he's popped up here and there through other events and through other books and stuff. And it's the basis, like for the Carnage stuff, was in here where we were still dealing with the Cape Killers and all that stuff, and it kind of overlapped and fed into each other. And it was just, this is a really cohesive, really, like I said, well-paced book that has kind of brought Miles back up to the glory that he deserves to be in, I think. And the more you can establish Miles with characters of his own, villains of his own, supporting cast of his own that he can interact with, that he doesn't have to rely on the greater Marvel universe and Peter Parker's supporting cast and rogues gallery and all of that. The more you can do that, more you can separate him out and establish him as his own entity, the better for Miles. And I think this series in particular, this run, this volume, whatever you want to call it, has done a really great job at doing that so far. Even if we are seeing some familiar faces like Misty Knight and Scorpion, I mean, it is the Marvel Universe after all, introducing Rabble and bringing him back in Bumblebee and different characters that Miles has, kind of interacted with, having Tiana, aka the Vulture's granddaughter, and Gonke there, and bringing back that supporting cast and bringing them more into the forefront than they had been. Those are all steps towards the positive for Miles, and especially with whatever is going on with the Ultimate Universe and whatever is going to come of that. If these people are part of that equation as in Miles's life going forward, and his baby sister and his mom and his dad and all that stuff, all that whole dynamic, all his world, his insular world within Brooklyn, his corner of the Marvel Universe, I think it's only good things. And if you kind of got soured on Miles from previous volumes and didn't really feel like Miles was the same character that you had read from the Ultimate Universe or whatever, I urge you to kind of give this volume a shot, at least this first issue, and see if you like it. See if this kind of brings back that version of Miles for you, or something new, something fresh for Miles, a growth for the character that kind of takes him into another echelon. Because for me, it did that. For me, I was kind of on and off with the last couple of volumes, but I still kept up with it because I want to love Miles Morales' books. I love the character from the Ultimate Universe. I want to, and I love the character from the Spider-Verse movies. So I want to follow that character's journey. I want to see where his path leads as an individual hero and character in the Marvel Universe. And so I had a hard time letting go of that character, just like I would with Peter Parker, and not following his journey and everything. I know some people including friends of mine, don't have that commitment to those books and stuff, and I completely understand that. I respect that. But with Miles, I couldn't let it go. I just kept reading to see if it would get better, right? And I think finally with this volume, it has done that. It has met my expectations, which I'm just one dude that reads comics. So who am I, and what does my opinion mean? But in my opinion, Miles Morales issue number 1 from Cody Ziglar and Vicentini from December of 2022, the current arc, the current run that is going on with Miles Morales right now, is that book that's been what I've been waiting for, to get Miles back on track, to do something different with him, to make him exciting and interesting again. And I think every issue has been fairly consistent, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this creative team takes Miles. I don't know how long this run's going to be, if they're going to reboot it again, anything like that, what's going to happen again with the Ultimate Invasion and the fallout and outcome of that. So everything could change in a few months. I don't know. But right now, I'm enjoying Miles Morales, and I think you might too. So go check it out. And while you're checking stuff out, check out all the other content on this channel. I am back with consistent content after a long hiatus, much longer hiatus than I had intended, but I am here. So check me out with new videos on Mondays right here for more Only Good Comics. And of course, follow me at onlygoodcomics.com and all that stuff, all that fun stuff. I'll see you next time. I've still got to get back into the flow of doing this thing, right? So anyway, take care and keep reading those comics. Bye.